What's going on, guys? Just coming on here. We're going to talk about a little game preview, a little recap of what happened against the Ravens last Sunday. But let's get this one started. All right, so the Steelers are coming off one of the greatest victories I've ever seen in my 17 years of being a Steelers fan. It was amazing. Didn't start the way we wanted to, didn't really finish in what hopefully we wanted to, with Boz missing the extra point, which we later found out it was blocked. And it came down to Tyler Loop missing a field goal to move us on to the postseason. So we'll talk a little bit about that, who played well, who played bad, and then a little preview against the Texans. And yeah, so start off, Rodgers, he played a really good game, did what he was supposed to. They were playing two high safeties, and he said in the past, if they play that, we're just gonna eliminate them with the yards after catch, which we did with Gainwell, we did with Warren. And, those guys are so special in the Yak game. Sorry, I'm watching the Patriots game on the side here. Um, but it's it's good to see those guys doing well. Obviously Rodgers in the clutch. I think there was like minute 50 left and marched down the field in a minute. Calvin Austin, that little stop and go, burnt Awuzie, got that touchdown, put us up 26-24. But yeah, let's just go through position and just see who played well. Um, yeah, I said Rodgers, running backs did amazing. I think Warren did a little bit better than Gainwell this week. But I mean, those guys are a 1A, 1B, you could say. Um, But yeah, wide receiver, um, Calvin Austin stepping up when we needed him. I mean, if he doesn't play that game, who knows if we win, because he was coming off of IR. Um, Adam Thielen played good. He caught that real good pass from Rodgers. That was such a good ball. If you haven't seen the film dive on that play, I highly recommend you watch it because it's pretty crazy. Um, yeah, other than them, MVS is just like a few catches. Um, but tight end, obviously without Darnell is crucial for the run game. But Pat Freiermuth stepped up so big. He caught that huge third down in the fourth quarter. He's always just showing up, and I think obviously Darnell is getting injured is terrible. I hate to see he helps out so much in the run game, but this might have opened the eyes. For some of the Steelers coaches to realize, we paid this guy Muth a lot of money 2 years ago. We got to get him involved. And I mean, he's so clutch. His hands are so clutch. But yeah, tight end for the most part did good. Jonnu Smith's not that big of a role. Connor Hayward did pretty solid. Um, I think Connor Hayward. I don't think he was too special, but did what he was supposed to. He's actually really good in that fullback position when he gets a block for Warren or Gainwell. He's a good blocker, I'll say, better than Jonnu, I'll tell you that. O-line played amazing. I don't know if you've seen the PFF grades for us, but they were literally like, I think four of them were our offensive linemen, and then the other one was Jalen Warren. So it's like our offensive line is playing great, and Dylan Cook stepping up when it matters most. In the right before the postseason, we're playing Texans D line, which is going to be tough, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. In terms of the defense, TJ coming back, and he got that pick. I don't think anybody but TJ makes that play. Cam Hayward had an exceptional game, might have been his best game of the season, and especially when we were going against Derrick Henry. I mean, the first play of the game when Derrick Henry took off for like 40 yards, I was like, yeah, here it is. Same old Steelers playing the Ravens. But they really stepped up. Um, he played an amazing game. Derek Harmon played an amazing game. Keanu Benton played a good game, but I think like early downs, I would rather see. Um, well, I guess it wouldn't matter that much. I was gonna say I'd rather see Y.A. Black when it comes to the run game, but I mean the Texans don't really have that good of a run game, so I'd imagine we'd see a lot of play action out of them tomorrow. But in terms of linebackers, I think they played all right. It's always Patrick Queen. He's always taking bad angles or something. He got burnt by Zay Flowers on that one like 64-yard touchdown. Alex Highsmith played a great game. Same with Nick Herbig, and I think Nick Herbig only had like not like 15 snaps. Like it wasn't a lot at all because TJ. But I mean, that's also good that TJ's playing that many snaps and he seems to be okay, and it's good that he's healthy. Um, but yeah, Peyton Wilson didn't get a lot of snaps either. It was Malik Harrison trying to be the run stuff linebacker, and I think he did a pretty solid job. In terms of corners, I think the corners did pretty good. I mean, Joey Porter, obviously, he's been locked down. Uh, I don't know how many times I'm going to keep saying that, but he is. Um, and then you have our safeties. I think Jalen Ramsey played a pretty bad game. I think all of our safeties didn't play the greatest game ever, um, especially on that 4th and 7 uh, when they were trying to convert to keep the game alive, and he tossed it to Isaiah Likely. And I don't know what Jalen Ramsey was thinking when he tried to take that angle in the jump. They said he mistimed the jump, but like if you're athletic, I don't understand why you can't make a play on the ball. But I mean, obviously we won. We get a home playoff game for the first time since 2020. But I mean, that 2020 game doesn't really count, I would say, because we only had like I don't know what it was. It was like 500 players or 500 people in the stands. Um, Obviously, we know how that game worked out. Um, with the first play of the game being Ben Roethlisberger, or it was a high snap to Big Ben and went over his head, and the Browns got a touchdown immediately. But the last time we've had a home playoff game was that? It was 2017 against the Jags. Yeah. And I mean that was a pretty close game, I would say. But I think having a home playoff game now means a lot because obviously, the Texans, they're a warm weather football team coming from Houston. And I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying that CJ Stroud went to Ohio State. He's a cold weather quarterback. He can play in it. And I mean, when CJ Stroud played Michigan twice, he lost both times. So, I mean, it's gonna be cold in the Berg. It's gonna be like mid 30s probably at kickoff, and I think it drops down to high 20s, low 30s. And I think the keys to victory is don't let Stroud beat you deep. Like I said, they're probably going to do a lot of play action, a lot of chunk plays. So don't let them beat you deep. Um, I think you gotta get the ground game going. And because if you wear down this defense, I mean, this defense is exceptional. I mean, their D line on either side, you have Daniil Hunter, and then you got Will Anderson on the other side, and that's not an edge rusher duo that I want to see. But at the same time, when we played the Browns, I feel like having just like one really good edge rusher, uh, you kind of try and game plan around them a little too much. I mean, obviously you're going to game plan them regardless, but I mean, we know how we played against the Browns pretty bad, but I mean the Browns defense is pretty good, but so is the Texans. Texans have top five defense in the league. So you gotta give Rodgers time. You gotta let him dice. I mean, obviously we get DK back, which is gonna be really good. Um, Not a lot of people are injured except for the people that have already been on IR. Um, you know, I think you gotta let Muth have a good game too. But I mean, I just think the terrible towers are gonna be going off. It's gonna be super loud. They're gonna have to beat us with the pass because they don't have that good of a run game with Woody Marks. So I think that's where this game is gonna be won in the trenches. Um, because I think if we put up like 25 points, I think we win the game. As long as our defense holds up. But I'm really just excited to have a home playoff game in so long. And I think, if you win one game, you could, well, who won today? So I don't know what the scenarios would be depending on this Chargers Patriots game that goes on, but I think the only way that we have a home playoff game is if the Chargers win, and they're down 3-0 right now. But this is also crucial for Mike Tomlin. I mean, if we didn't win that game last week, who knows if Tomlin leaves? I mean, uh, I know the Ravens did fire. Well, I guess they let him walk. John Harbaugh. Um, after, I wouldn't really say it's his fault. I mean, you can't predict a missed field goal. You can't coach a missed field goal. But you can argue he should have been in that place. Um, but I think this game means a lot for Tomlin and Rodgers, because if we win this game and we lose whoever we play, I think there's a really strong case for Rodgers to come back and for Tomlin to want him to come back. But, if we lose this game in devastating fashion like we have over the last somehow how many years, when the first half you've been absolutely dominated and you can't put up any points. So I think how you start the first half is going to determine the game a lot. But I mean, you got to win it for guys like TJ. He's never got a playoff win. You got to win it for Cam Hayward. I mean, I know he has one more year on his contract, but I mean, if Rodgers doesn't come back, Cam Hayward might retire early because he really wants a ring, and I don't blame him. But I'm gonna get back to this Patriots game. Uh, I guess go Steelers. I don't know. I'm super nervous. I'm gonna be real nervous before the game, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what they do. Um, Obviously, if you get a win, it changes a lot for everything. Tomlin, Rodgers, it changes a lot for everybody. But you got one of the best cold weather playoff quarterbacks in the AFC. I think you could argue Josh Allen might be a little bit better. Playoff Josh is a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, I mean, that's all I have for you guys on this late night Sunday. Here we go, Steelers. Let's go. Let's get this done.